Hi, gang. It's Thursday, September 6th, and I'm just going to do little uh, pieces for a couple days, probably, because I don't have enough to do a whole vlog after yesterday's vlog. I'm waiting for my husband to pick me up. We are on our way to go for a meeting at my mother's facility. She's been there just actually a week. 5 weeks. She's been there 5 weeks. Yeah, she's been there 5 weeks now. So this is a kind of a sit down with the staff. They tell us what they've seen. We tell them what we've seen, just touch base, which is nice. And I only have positive things to say. I've been really delighted with everything. I'm sorry, I just put on lip gloss and I'm not used to wearing anything on my lips. So last night I took the increased amount of Klonopin. She had asked me to change the timing of the LDN, but it's either 20 minutes before you eat or a good hour after you eat, and I forgot and had had a yogurt like at 8. I don't know. All I know is I didn't take the LDN earlier. I was supposed to take it at 6 instead of 9, and I still took it at 9. But with the increased amount of Klonopin, I did sleep much better. Who would have thunk? I woke up still twice to go to the bathroom, but I've been doing that since I've had children. I have never slept through the night without getting up to go potty. But what's nice is when you get up to go to the bathroom and you go back to bed and you actually go back to sleep, and you're not waking up with that feeling in the middle of the night. Now I still woke up around 5:30. Feeling the uneasiness and some of the symptoms, but they were a little less. I'm waiting to hear from her. The New York State website to register for medical marijuana was down as of yesterday afternoon. It was still down all last night and this morning. So last she texted me, she said by 1 o'clock she was going to call them when she got a chance if it was still down. Otherwise, she would get me registered and we'd get this thing on the road. I asked her, we had talked about melatonin, and then we never followed up. I mean, she said something to me that was interesting, that when you're not sleeping, and I mean like me, excuse me, that you're not producing the normal amounts of melatonin you should be. So you are melatonin deficient. And therefore you are to take melatonin every single night until your body turns around and you start sleeping and making your own. But what she didn't tell me was how much I should be taking. I mean, I had read, you're not supposed to take anything more than 1 milligram because that's all your body produces naturally. And she said that is true, except you're not even making that. You are deficient. You're not making probably nothing. So I'm waiting to hear back about how much melatonin I should be shoveling down my throat and I'm going to do it every single night now. I've got to turn this around. Woke up with the regular uneasy wackadoodle head. Already took my 3-mile walk, showered, did my hair, washed my hair, didn't do anything to it. It's about 80 out, which is a far cry from, it got to 101 yesterday afternoon. It was 101. It was just unbelievably hot yesterday. So it's about 80 today. Tomorrow it's going to be 75, and then Saturday and Sunday it's going to be in the 60s. So that affects my head too. The barometer fluctuating so dramatically. So I did have a funky head pretty severe this morning, but since I've gotten back from my walk and taken a shower, it's clearing up a little bit. I was like, please, dear God, I got to go sit at a meeting, and I've got to, know what I'm talking about and know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Um, anyway, that's about it. Called and made the reservation for our birthday party next 15th. We're having the whole family, nieces or grandchildren all come, and my sister and her husband are coming, as you know, and we're all getting together, and we're going to take my mom to this Italian restaurant that is close to where she lives. And I mentioned this the other day that she actually ate there many, 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 many times in her early years. The place has been open for 73 years, and she was eating there when she was still married to my father in their early years of marriage, so probably in the 50s. She was eating there in the 50s. So that's where I made the reservation for us to have dinner there for her birthday. Checked in a couple different hotels close by to give my sister the numbers, because I told you they're not going to stay here with me because I'm such a freak. That's about all. Washing a lot of towels that we used 8 billion towels on Monday when we were all here for our Labor Day party. So I'm washing and drying those, and actually probably only going to leave out maybe a couple now because I don't think there's going to be any real swimming from here on out. At least I won't be doing any swimming from here on out. So that's it. I'll be leaving as soon as my husband walks in the door, and checking with you guys later. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Miss me? Went to the meeting, and it went really well. They only had good things to say, and we only had good things to say. It's all a win-win with my mother. She's really doing really well. She's gained 6 pounds in the last month, where she was losing weight and just getting, she's never going to be better, you know that. But she's eating. And 6 pounds in a month is a lot. So that clearly proves that she's eating much better than she was. The activity director said that she's upstairs doing something every day. She does do activities every day. She had one small fall, but she let herself down to the floor very slowly and easily. Her legs just got tired. There was no fall, So far, she's agreed to. They've made an appointment for her to see a dentist because she needs new dentures. Oh God, does she need new dentures? These dentures are all cracked, and she looks like a hillbilly. And we've tried to talk her into new dentures for years, and she would just say nonsense. But the other day, the nurse said that her bottom plate, and I could see that it kept clipping out of the bottom of her gums, and you could hear it clicking, and it would settle back down. So her gums are shrinking. I said that the other day. The little piece of metal that hooks onto one of the existing teeth actually got caught on her lip in the inside of her mouth, and that was a little difficult to get off. So they've made an appointment for her to see a dentist, and then take it from there. I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm sure it will take long, the way things go. So then my husband and I sat and visited with her for a while. I called my sister on my phone so she could chat with her about the upcoming visit. We talked about the visit and her birthday next week. And then from there, Sid and I went grocery shopping, and I did fine. I'm never 100%. But compared to sometimes when I would be out I was okay. It's still very hot right now. It's in the mid 80s, like I said. So I'm up in my room where it's cooler. I'm done with the heat. I can't believe I'm saying that. Can't believe I'm saying that I'm done with the heat. Oh, I set up an account for her. They have their own little beauty salon there, you know. And once a week, a beautician comes in and does the residents' hair. Um, you know, old ladies, they get a wash, cut, and or a set, and or a color. My mother gets none of that. My mother gets a wash and a cut. And her hair's really short. I've got it cut like I've had them cut it pixie cut. So she just needs it trimmed up. But I made an appointment for her to get that done next Thursday because it's only on Thursdays and today was too late. So her hair will be freshly cut for her party. Oh, I didn't check my email. I gotta check my email. So, to see if the nurse practitioner got through to the registry for my medical marijuana. I'm gonna start giving you more information. You know, my husband had bought CBD. You can get CBD online. And I was wondering what the difference would be between CBD that you just buy anywhere or the stuff you get from the dispensary. There is quite a big difference, and I'll explain that later. So there is a difference between the CBD you just buy anywhere and the hemp oil CBD. It's medical grade. Let's put it that way. Oh, my son just walked in. I got a visit from my son. Bye. Hello. It is Friday, September 7th. Already taken my 3-mile walk. I was kind of bummed because as out on my walk, somebody had this humongous garage sale. They must have a store that closed down or something. I mean, brand new Halloween costumes, thousands. I'm exaggerating, hundreds. All these Halloween costumes and Halloween decorations and lamps, brand new lamps. It must have been they must have owned some store or something, but I have no car. Because if I had a car, I would have flown home, got my money, and went right back there. Because are you kidding me? Not only for Halloween to dress up for my grandkids, but they love to play dress up. I have a wicker basket full of dress up clothes that they play with. But I have no car, so I can't go back. So sleep last night. I only doubled my dose of my Klonopin last night. I sat there with the triple dose thinking, my heart's not in this. So I left the quarter dose out just in case just doubling the dose wouldn't really give me, but it did. I slept a good 7 hours. Yes, I woke up twice to go potty. That's been my life since I've had children. I've never slept through the night. But I got up, pottied, and went right back to sleep without any of that freaking out weird feeling. It calmed me enough to give me some good sleep. So that's 2 nights in a row now. We'll see. And that was with just doubling the dose. But I woke up worse. I woke up around 5-ish with more anxiety. But that has subsided since I've taken my walk. So here's the great news. So you have to go on when you're applying for a medical marijuana card, whatever state you live in, and you have to go to their state website. And you're given a code and a number, that my FNP had gotten yesterday and gave it to me. Anyways, long story short, I screwed up. And I'm locked out of it until for 24 hours because I tried to log in 5 times. And after the fifth time, they lock you out. I don't know what I was doing wrong. It was so confusing. I mean, I even called, and this guy was giving me no help at all. Whoa, I can do a screenshot and send you an email of a screenshot of what, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm looking at it. What are you going to give me a picture of what I'm looking at? Could you, and he clearly couldn't do it for me online, on the phone. So I'll do it, attempt tomorrow again, but with my husband's helping me because clearly my brain doesn't fire correctly. And, things, I was a nurse. I'm not a doctor, but even as a nurse, you need to be sharp. And I taught first and second grade. I'm not an idiot. But let me tell you, I got on that website and I felt like an idiot. I was like, oh, what am I looking over? I couldn't figure out what I was doing. And then when I set up my password and my username, then they tell you shut down, wait 5 minutes and come back on. That's when all crap, it wouldn't take my information. And it was the same information. Needless to say, another day out before I can, because it takes 7 to 10 days before they'll send me the card. I guess I'll just be downing melatonin and Klonopin until then. Yuta, my stepmother, stopped by yesterday evening to give my son, who stopped over too, tickets to an SU game tomorrow. While she was here, I was telling her about the visit and how the nurse practitioner, the first thing she said when she came in was like, oh my God, you look so good. And she hadn't seen me in months. And I, of course, I think I told you this, my retort was, oh, it's because I'm tan. And she goes, no, you are tan and you have a beautiful tan, but no. And I think I told you this, how she was saying that I was present. My eyes had life in them again. I was not dull and fogged out. So I was sharing that with Yuta, and Yuta's going, that's what we all been trying to tell you. And I said, well, it's funny because my daughter didn't want to tell me that. She thought that I would feel like they were not, acknowledging the fact that I am still sick. And she goes, so we hesitate to tell you how good you seem to us because then your retort is, no, I'm still sick though. And she's probably right. And so Yuta was saying the same thing. She goes, but this is what we all been trying to say to you, is that you are better. Whether, and however small it may be for you, it's large enough for us to see a big difference. Now, over a year ago, my oldest daughter had come to me. It was over a year ago because I think we were going into last winter when she had said to me, in regards to my illness and how I was doing and what things I was doing at that point, at that time, she had said, Mom, all I know is in the last 8 months, you have gone downhill. This is what she was telling me over a year ago. She goes, you've gotten way worse. You are way worse than you were 8 months ago. So now she's saying, now you're like 60% to 70% better than you were last year at this time. I do know that I am not feeling that constant maldebarkment. I was having maldebarkment every day, all day, and sometimes so bad, holding onto the walls grabbing a hold of things. It just could not even stand still. It was so bad. That has lessened quite a bit. I still get these moments of, and my head still feels wonky and wackadoodle, but I'm not having that severe maldebarkment. Well, not every day. I still get it, but I haven't had a real severe attack in maybe a month or so. I don't know. I am journaling again. Start journaling. No, back in July and August, I started journaling again because I like to be able to read back what was going on. I mean, it's pretty intense stuff that I write. So, I don't know what is happening to me. I don't know if I told you guys, the nurse practitioner and I, we talked in depth about the Klonopin. She is very familiar with Klonopin. She actually, has prescribed it. And she says it's, benzos are one of those medications that I am the most respectful of because I know what they can do. And she explained my husband, because my husband was like making a comment, kind of like she just needs to get off of it right away. And she looked at Sid and said, she can't. This is the only drug that if she was to just stop cold turkey, it could literally kill her. And that is the truth. Any of you who are on benzos, you know that. It could kill you. You could have severe seizures and die. She goes, so no. If and when the day comes that she feels stable enough that she would like to attempt to try to get off of it again, we will work with her. I will work with her. We'll do it. But she's too sick right now. Her adrenals are just completely flattened. She goes, your adrenals are just gone. Gone. I don't even need to test. Your adrenals are gone. You're like in, what people would say in the old days, mental breakdown or complete physical exhaustion. That's where we're at when we're so chronically ill. But again, we went back to the fact that the benzo has not been the cause of a lot of my problems. It may be the cause of some of my problems, but it's not the cause of all of my problems, clearly. And so she obviously has no problem with me still taking it because she told me to increase it for 2 weeks until I can get my MM and see if that will help with the sleep. Excuse me. So that's for today. Going nowhere. Have no plans. I walked. Did a little laundry. It's much cooler out today. It's maybe 72. And over the weekend, I told you, 60s. I don't care for that. I don't care for it to be that cool. And I'm already trying to get my mind ready, preparing for the long, dark, cold winter. She had suggested I get one of those light lamps, those light therapy, because I apparently react definitely positively being out in the sun and having that sunlight. I may do that. I may invest in one of those because you just can buy a bulb. You don't need to buy a whole thing. You can just buy the bulb and put it in a regular light and just sit in front of it. I suppose. Anyway, just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know what's happening with me as far as the MM. I'm the kind of impatient person, so when the the screen shot out that I was locked out for 24 hours because I had exceeded the 5 attempts. That just, oh, I got rageful because I'm very impatient. I want things done yesterday. And I've said this to you guys before, I am not a procrastinator. When I say I'm going to do it, I do it right then. I am obsessive about getting things done when I say I'm going to do it. So, not being able to, register and get this car done right this minute is driving me crazy. Crazy. But nothing I can do about it, right? Okay. So I'm gonna try to catch up on some of your vlogs. Honestly, I haven't watched anyone's vlog. I don't know what's going on with anyone. I only watched 2 or 3 vlogs, honestly. So I just hope you're doing well. You know who you are. Okay? Praise God. Lord willing, I will see you again another time soon. Like I said, I'm just gonna put a bunch of little together for one vlog at the end of after about 5. Bye. Hi. Just sat down. It's Sunday. And it's been a long day. Had more dizziness today. But even through all that, holy moly. Went to church last night. Slept good again. Taking the melatonin and only double the Klonopin. So tonight, I'm actually going to try just the melatonin with my regular dose of Klonopin and see if I do better or if I go back to doing really bad again. Anyways, woke up with horrendous anxiety. Sorry, all the grandkids just left, so I'm kind of out of breath. So, after my 3-mile walk today, it's freezing, by the way. I think this morning it was like 59. A couple days ago it was 101, 59. I don't think it got past 65 today, if it even got that high. But after my walk, I drove to my daughter's because it was Grandparents' Day today, and of course nobody acknowledges or anything, but the grandkids had wanted to come over after they got out of church. They had texted me and asked if I was home, and I said, yeah, but I'm just about ready to go out on my walk. So she told the kids, no, you can't go to Gammy's, and took them home without really explaining anything to me. So kids were flipping out. So I went there, and of course, they all want to go with me. And so originally I was going to take the 3 older ones, believe it or not. I was going to attempt taking the 3 older ones. Never done that before. But anyway, right before I was getting ready to leave, my son-in-law told me that Preston, the 3-year-old, the night before had finally learned how to ride 2-wheelers. Now, listen, my kids didn't know how to ride a 2-wheeler at 3. I don't even know if they did it before 6 or 7. My grandkids all learned by the time they're 3. And sure enough, he got on. They had taken his training wheels off, and away he goes. And they live in a cul-de-sac, so he's going around and around. I was like, oh my gosh, look at him. He's riding it like he's been doing it forever. And the 2 older ones, Link and Liv, get their bikes out. Long story short, they smash into each other. Thank God I'm a nurse. I ran to the rescue. Praise God, it could have been so much worse because they really smashed into each other. Part of Lincoln's bike hit Livy's head and cut her scalp open. I assessed the wound to say it didn't need stitches. but it needed to be cleaned up. And if it wasn't all this hair there, I have steri strips. I would have tried to steri strip it closed, but I couldn't do that. I told her to just put a Band-Aid on it tonight somehow. But anyways, my grandson, you know, road burn all down his arm and cut right here on his hand. Cleaned all that up. And so a lot of crying and screaming, and after that, Livy was limping a bit. Oh, because she had gotten a cut on the back of one of her, the heel of one of her feet. She was limping, and so we just decided I was just going to take Lincoln and Preston. Preston didn't get hurt at all because he wasn't in the accident. It was Livy and Lincoln smashing it. So I just took the two boys. Drove from their house all the way to my mother's, and I took a longer route. You can drive faster, but it's actually longer because it took me about 45 minutes to get to her house, get to my mom's place from this route. Preston ended up sleeping the whole time in the car. And on that drive, I started getting wacky in the head. That was a little bit much driving for me on highway. I mean, highway, 75 miles an hour. A couple times I had to slow down a little bit. My head was getting a little wacky. But anyway, went to see my mom. That didn't go well because, there's nothing for the boys to do. They were trying to behave, but I just couldn't spend a lot of time there, and that made her sad, and she started crying. So I'm trying to console her and tell the boys to calm down and stay still, and she just was very sad. And when I told her I wasn't planning on going back there until next weekend for her birthday, but I'm going to have to make a trip out there again before the weekend. I don't have to. Anyway, came back to our house. My husband had made homemade sauce, rigatonis. So we ate, and then my daughter and son-in-law and the other two finally showed up. They had gone to some fall festival, I don't know, at a nature center nearby with his parents. And after that, they came with the other two kids, and they ate. That was a whirlwind. So they just flew in, and 4 kids all running, overstimulated. She asked if I could try to clean Livy's wound up a little bit more. I did. I got buckets of stuff here. I've got everything. You break your arm, I could probably fix it with all the stuff I have from my nursing time years. Like I said, I have steri strips. I have the steri sutures. Anyway, but I couldn't do any of that. I just cleaned up the wound a little bit and told her tonight try to take her braid down and put a Band-Aid over it. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, they just left. Because that was several times before they even got here with the 2 younger ones. When I was with the 2 boys, I was trying to play Candyland, and I had some dizzy spells. And then we got up on the couch for me to tell stories. And while I was telling stories, just, I don't know, I was having dizzy spells. Meaning, feeling really, getting those moments of feeling really bad in my head again. Very uncomfortable. Michelle mentioned that the new moon was the night before last. And I say that I always get affected with the moon, and maybe that's why I don't know. Or could it possibly be I'm just doing way too much? I'm pushing myself a little too much. Driving, 45 minutes on a highway straight. Tomorrow I will try to get a hold of the New York State government website because it will not let me register, will not let me log in. So I need to speak to somebody when they open the office and I can talk to a human being. I don't have any Epsom salts, but let me tell you, I really want to take an Epsom salt bath right now. That's what I need. And if I had it in me, I'd get in the car and go buy some Epsom salts, but I might just take a hot bath. Maybe I'll just take a hot bath. So that's my day. I'm going to add this to the other couple clips. I don't know what else to add. Just had quite a bit of weirdness in the head today, more than I've had recently. And I don't know why. But that was overstimulating. And of course, then the kids are arguing about whose date day is it next? Because they all have explained to me. We sat down, I said, so you guys really don't like to come over here with one of your other siblings. Is that correct? Yes. Date day, I mean, Preston, 3 years old, is saying to me, date day is when I get you all by myself with nobody else here, none of them coming with me. And I said, right. Lincoln, yes. I like to just have my time alone with you. Livy, yes. So thank God Wesley doesn't get a vote yet. He's still too young. But so I said, well, we'll figure out date day next weekend because it will be Sunday because Saturday is Gigi's birthday, and I got to do all that on Saturday. But we will start the rotation of date day again because the summer kind of screwed us up. But there stands the problem. I'm going to babble to you guys. You can go ahead and go zip. I don't want to hear this. I don't care about this. I've had 2 of the boys today. So now does it go to Livy next weekend or do I start at Lincoln? And the argument ensues. The kids my daughter goes, I'm telling you, the way they fight over spending time with you is just ridiculous. And I don't do anything real fun with them anymore. I even said that. I go, you guys are getting older and the things we used to do don't interest you. I don't even know how to entertain you, but you still want to come and hang out with me. I guess that's a good thing. And it was Grandparents' Day. I got to spend time with my grandbabies. Gammy. Breathe. Just breathe. Okay. So I'm going to go get in a hot bath and read. When I was telling my nurse practitioner the other day that I don't do anything overstimulating before bed, like I watch mindless shows, and I go, my reading material is mindless. And she laughed and she goes, well, for instance, and my husband goes, oh, go ahead, tell her what you read. And I go, I read Amish fiction. And she goes, what's that? I said, it's fictional stories about the Amish. And she goes, I didn't even know there was such a thing. And my husband goes, oh, and there's a lot out there because she can go to the library and pull 4 at a time and still have 8 billion more to go. I go, that's what I read. It's mindless reading. But I can read. I just cannot read anything that needs my mind to be engaged. So that's difficult for me. That's why I listen to the Bible. I listen to the Bible online every morning because even reading the Bible is difficult for me because I have to engage and think what the words mean when somebody's reading it to me and explaining it to me. John Corson, Searchlight. I've told you about him before. He does all the work for me. But mindless reading, mindless TV viewing. So I'm going to sign off. I'm sorry that I babbled so long. Lord willing, we'll be back at it again soon. I'm praying for all of you. God bless. And until later, bye bye.